I did a big U.S. road trip when I was 28, and it was around the time that basketball playoffs were, and I was road tripping through the South at that point in time, and I'm a Warriors fan, and they were in the playoffs at that time. And I would stop at sports bars through the South to watch the games, and it's not quite the same as your question, but I would be a single woman going into sports bars, and people made the assumption that I was like there to try to get hit on.
Oh.
And I was like, no, I'm here to watch basketball. And they like did not have, which is like a very, having spent most, growing up in California, and then I lived in New York, and I've lived in Denver, and like various other cities where it's very common for women to be into sports.
Correct.
And I'm fairly certain it's common for women to be into sports in the South, just maybe not going to a sports bar alone because of whatever their experience might be.
Right.
But I was like, I'm very used to like going to a sports bar and watching the sports and not being there for anything other than sports. And so that kind of gave me a perspective of what are other people experiencing based on where they're living, based on gender.
Did you act differently in the bar? Were you more reserved? Did you want to leave earlier or anything? Or were you just thinking, okay,
the funny thing is I think it made me kind of obstinate to be exactly like how I normally am.
Okay, right.
Be like,
I can see that in you. I don't even know you, and I can see that.
yeah. To be like, this isn't the place that I normally have to experience this.
Right.
So if it was, then I would probably start to morph and change.
Right.
Whereas I kind of get the opportunity to not morph and change and to be the person who is like, this is how I act when I go to my local sports bar. Why would I be any different?
Right.
Maybe you all need to see something different than what you. So I don't know if it's quite unheard or unseen so much as like kind of obstinate.
Well, it's judged. It's
judged.
It's definitely judged. You were a female in a sports bar, and they thought, well, you certainly wouldn't be here to watch sports because you're a female.
Yeah.
And you can't like sports.
So
you must want one of us to hit on you. You must be looking for some action.
Something.
Yeah, that was definitely judged.
Yeah. And I would say I'm not a confrontational person, but I definitely, in doing the road trip, had a lot of moments where I thought about how I get to be as a person and what are other lived experiences other than my own.
I love how you made that connection.
And
because you were definitely being pegged, you were being stereotyped.
Yeah.
Like maybe they thought you should be in a garden somewhere, like I don't know, or a cooking class.
Yeah, it was it felt very much like, oh, she might be into sports, but she would be coming with her boyfriend.
Correct.
There's no option as a single woman, or even maybe a queer woman. I was like, what's the assumptions being made that are not how I function as a person?
No, I really like how you did that. How you thought about how that could affect other people.
Yeah, and I'm also very friendly, so I would still talk to them and be like, I'm actually here to watch basketball, and they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, wasn't that play amazing? And they'd be like,
how do you know about that?
Yeah. So